Send a request to Yandex search. 200 OK. Looks fine. Open the response. Hot air balloons. A challenge card. Press to continue. This is SmartCaptcha. Not reCAPTCHA. Not HCAPTCHA. Yandex own bot manager built right into the Yandex cloud stack. And it just ate your scraper alive. Here's the thing about SmartCaptcha. It's an IP gate. It's a fingerprint gate. It's not a JavaScript execution gate, which means we don't need a headless browser. We don't need render equals true. We just need a properly fingerprinted request from a clean IP. Wrap the URL through Scrape.do with super equals true and geocode US. Send it. 200 again, but this time the body is real. Yandex HTML. We're in. Yandex serves two completely different data formats. Web search is server-rendered HTML. We'll use beautiful soup and CSS selectors. Image search is a JSON XHR endpoint. We'll regex our way through it. Same proxy config for both. Same single flag. The bypass doesn't care which endpoint we're hitting. Lock geocode to US. Yandex serves different rankings per region. Pinning it keeps the dataset consistent across runs. Web search uses a clean, zero-based P parameter. Page 1 is P equals 0. Page 2 is P equals 1. No tokens, no cursors, no encoded blobs. Build the URL, route it through Scrape.do, parse the response with beautiful soup. Standard fetch and parse pattern, the kind of thing you'd write for Google search. Except Yandex is going to make the parsing interesting. Open DevTools. Hover over an organic result. Look at the class name. That's auto-generated garbage. Webpack output. It'll change on the next deploy and break every selector we write. But scroll down. Inside that li tag, there's a div with the class organic. That's the stable semantic hook, left over from Yandex's older BEM style frontend. Auto-generated outside, semantic inside. We anchor on the semantic part. Parse function first. Pull the title link, expand protocol relative URLs, starting with double slashes, expand relative paths, starting with a single slash. Both edge cases need to be clickable in the final CSV. Now, the two-path selection. Primary path, walk every li.serp-item, skip the ones with add classes. Find the nested organic block. That's the modern DOM. Fallback path. If the primary path returns nothing, scan for bare organic divs without the li wrapper. That's the alternate DOM Yandex ships between deploys. We've seen both in production. This isn't defensive over-engineering. It's the difference between a scraper that runs for weeks and one that breaks tomorrow. Run it across 3 pages. 30 organic results extracted. Open the CSV. Position, title, URL, description. Position 1, Russian Wikipedia. Position 4, webscraper.io. Position 13, Appify. Position 27, Oxylabs. Russian and English titles mixed together. That's Yandex. 60% of the Russian search market, but the index reaches global content. Multi-language SERPs are the signal that this is the real engine. New file. New strategy. Yandex Images doesn't render results into HTML. The grid you see in the browser loads through a JSON XHR endpoint. Scroll triggers, batch requests, each returning roughly 30 images. Open network. Scroll the grid. Watch a search request appear with a parameter called TMPL version. That's the deployment identifier. Without it, the endpoint returns empty responses or errors out. No TMPL version, no image data. That's the gate. So we bootstrap. Make one request to the image. Search HTML page. Extract TMPL version from the response. But here's the catch. TMPL version appears in 3 different formats across page versions. We learned this the hard way. Single regex worked for weeks, Then Yandex pushed a new front-end build, and the scraper died overnight. 3 patterns now. First, TMPL version as a JSON key. Second, as a URL fragment with equals sign. Third, as a raw release string starting with releases front-end images. Try each in order, take the first match. Run it. Out pops the full version hash. We have the key to the JSON endpoint. Now mimic the browser. The AJAX request needs a specific blocks payload, extra content, plus an images app React adapter targeting SERP list fetch. Copy the structure exactly. Send it as a JSON encoded query parameter. Increment the P parameter for each batch. 28, then 30, then 30 more. Here's where it gets weird. The response body isn't clean JSON. Yandex mixes HTML fragments into it, which breaks standard JSON loads on the full text. So we go window-based. For every OrGirl regex match, open a 2,000-character window in each direction and scan for the thumbnail and alt text. Wide enough to catch both fields, narrow enough to stay inside the current image's scope. Run it. Bootstrap fires. TMPL version extracted. Batch 0, Batch 1, Batch 2. 88 unique image URLs after deduplication. Open the CSV, image URL, thumbnail URL, description. Free pick stock photos. Yandex's own avatars, CDN, Russian e-commerce, Ozon, S-Bear Megamarket, Shutterstock, YouTube thumbnails, descriptions in Russian and English side by side. Yandex image search collapsed from infinite scroll into 88 flat rows. 2 formats, 1 flag. SmartCaptcha bypassed without a single byte of JavaScript executed. Full code on GitHub. Free credits at Scrape.do.